I don't. I usually do. I don't have anything prepared.
Good morning, everyone. We learned this song a long time ago, so long ago we can't remember why or who it was that introduced us to it. But my hazy memory says it might have been a song that we learned for B. Arline when she was our minister. So it goes back a ways. The song is called My Dedication, and it's I thought it was somebody else. Yeah, it was somebody else. Anyway, if you're interested in who wrote it, you can ask me later.
It's Richard McDissey.
That's not what's on the music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He must have.
Yeah. Okay.
Here I am, Lord, use me, guide me, fill me, take me, lead me by your will. Here I am, Lord, ready to follow, to serve you, to love you, to be you in this world. Thy will is done through me this day. Thy will is done through me this day. Lord, you call, I answer. I'm open, I'm willing, I listen, I feel you move in me. Lord, I come closer, humbled, surrendered, lifted, committed to your plan. With this day, thy will is done through me this day. Here I am, Lord, I come. Lord, I come. Here I am, Lord, I come.
That's it.
Good morning. Welcome to everyone here in person, to those watching on YouTube streaming live, and those watching in the future, watching the replay. Thank you for being here. My name is Dory Kern, and I'd like to welcome all of you to Unity of Missoula. As we begin our Sunday service, let's honor one another and take a few moments to greet each other with waves, nods, and other non-physical means to show our appreciation and love for each other. And now, as we move into the more formal part of our service, let's remember Unity of Missoula is a team ministry founded on the 5 basic principles of unity. God is all good and active in everything, everywhere. I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and in everyone. I create my experiences by what I choose to think and what I feel and believe. Through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. I do and give my best by living the truth I know. I make a difference. All right, we are sending out a sign-up sheet for hospitality and greeters for the months of September and October. And thank you to all of you for making our spiritual home so inviting with your service. Thank you, Janine. All right, next is when we share together the reading from the Daily Word, a bi-monthly meditation magazine published by Unity World Headquarters. The word for today is radiance. Aligned with my divine nature, I am a beacon of light for others. God is the light in my life. I give thanks every day for the wondrous blessings of the divine and the peace and strength I derive from my faith. I am a spiritual being, fully human and fully divine. The light of God shines from within me. My confidence grows as I embrace my divine nature. As I live and love more fully and authentically, the joy within me multiplies and I become simply radiant. The world can feel dark and dull and needs all the light and sparkle it can get. As greater numbers of people discover the power of God within them and express the fullness of their true spiritual selves, the world will glow with our collective radiance. You will do well to be attentive to this as to a lamp shining in a dark place until the day dawns and the morning star rises in your hearts. 2 Peter 1:19. All right, now we have announcements. Here are a few things we want to tell you about this week. Next Sunday's 11 a.m. service will feature Jeff Haberman. Our August theme is Embracing Divine Will. This month's spiritual power is will, represented by the disciple Matthew and Sarah, and the color is gray or silver. Apologetic Manifestation, excited to study Unapologetic Manifestation by Ken Daigle, community, beginning Sunday, September 13th. We invite groups and read along with us as we consciously create a brighter future, individually and together. If you have not added your name to the book order list, or if you have questions, please see Therese. You can view a copy of the book in the foyer to decide if you would like a copy. Ordering the book will be completed this Monday, the 17th. That was last Monday. So I think they've already been ordered. Today is Potluck Sunday. Brought a dish to share. Join us downstairs after the service for food, fun, and fellowship. And thanks for join us anyway. There's tons of food. Our online book group meets on Mondays at 12:30 p.m. They are reading The Awakened Way by Suzanne Giesemann. Please contact Nancy Leifer or Judy Crenshaw if you would like the link. The in-person Unity book group meets Tuesdays at 12:30 p.m. They are reading A Changed Mind by David Bauer. A Course in Miracles study group meets on Mondays at 2 p.m. in the home of Linda Andress. Please see Linda if you need directions. And A Course in Miracles beginner group meets Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. in the Unity Sanctuary. Thursday's time of silent prayer and meditation for world peace is at 7 p.m. Please join us for 20 minutes of silent meditation as we visualize our world in blessed peace. And thank you so much to those of you who continue to support our Unity community through your tithes and love offerings. Your generous donations enable us to keep our building full of spiritual seekers and other community groups throughout the month. We appreciate you. Unity's 10% tithe on all income received each quarter is divided between and sent to help missions of Unity headquarters, Unity Northwest Region, and local Missoula charities as voted on annually by the board. Please hold them in your heart as we affirm our offering blessing. I will affirm it once and then have you repeat it with me. I open my heart to love. All that I give and all that I receive is blessed and multiplied from a joyful heart of love. Together, I open my heart to love. All that I give and all that I receive is blessed and multiplied from a joyful heart of love. And together, one more time. I open my heart to love. All that I give and all that I receive is blessed and multiplied from a joyful heart of love. Would our greeters please come forward to pass the offering baskets? Before we move on to the talk for this week, I will affirm Unity's primary affirmation and ask you to join me for 2 more times. There is only one presence and one power in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Together, there is only one presence and one power in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And again, there is only one presence and one power in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. In addition, here is our Missoula Unity affirmation. I will affirm it once and ask you to join me again. We are Unity of Missoula. We are a radiating center of divine love, open and accessible to all. We are God's light, peace, and joy wherever we are. Together, we are Unity of Missoula. We are a radiating center of divine love, open and accessible to all. We are God's light, peace, and joy wherever we are. All right. Unity of Missoula maintains a circle of people who have made a commitment to pray every day for others at their request. If you have names of people to hold in prayer for a month, you may place their names in the prayer box located on the altar, or call the church and leave a message with those names. Their names will be sent out to our prayer circle and to Silent Unity for 30 days of prayer. Please join me in prayer for a moment as we hold all of them in our hearts. You may also say aloud or silently the names of those you wish to bring into this time of prayer. Dear God, we hold these friends and loved ones in our hearts. We behold their light as expressions of the indwelling Christ. We release them to your care and affirm divine order in their lives and ours. Thank you, God. Amen. And Kenny to lead us in singing, There Is Only Love. The words are on the wall.
Hi, everybody. I think we'll just remain seated in the song. It's kind of a sit-down type of song. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, I go inside and quiet my mind, and I hear spirits say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
Thank you, Mark. All right, today's speaker is Michael Panique. I'm sure most of you already know Michael. He is a talented speaker who shares his wisdom and jokes from time to time. He also serves on the board and as a prayer chaplain, sings in the choir, and has been with Unity since about 2009. So I've been looking forward to this, and I hope you are too. Let's welcome Michael Panique.
I'll be with you in just a moment. Yes. Okay. Well, I'm just recovering. For some reason, as we were singing that song together, some of my feelings started coming out of my eyes. I don't know if that happens sometimes, but good morning and thank you for being here. Thank you to those of you who are joining us on the live stream. So I agreed to come here and speak with you for a while this morning about embracing divine will. And as I started thinking about this and preparing for it, the truth that came to me is that, like, my experience of divine will and my embracing or not of divine will has always manifested in my psyche as a tug of war or a conflict between my ability to trust, or, to put it another way, my faith, versus my need to feel in control, my need to feel safe. And as I was meditating on that, I ran into a very, very challenging piece of truth. Because what I think of as safety and control is really an illusion. In order for that piece of me to feel complete, to feel like I'm okay, everything out there needs to conform to the idea that I've got in my head, to the script that plays through my mind of, if I do this, then things happen this way, you respond in that way, and I get to feel like things are manageable. And then, this isn't new. I think if you look back at some of my previous talks, you're going to find that this comes up over and over again. But, as we say in the intro, what I have to share is going to express the truth of my experience at this point in time and up to this point in time. So as I look at this task, or this, this idea of embracing divine will in my life and in my existence, in my being, by letting go of that need to control, of that need to feel like everything is manageable. Well, what does that look like? So, as I like to do, I kind of lean into my references or lean into my influences. I look back to those places where I have found the wisdom in the past. And so one of those things is the teachings of unity, right? That's why I'm here. And so we're going to look at some what some of the minds of unity have tried to give us on this topic in the past. And then I've got some material from those ancient kind of Stoic writings that I've drawn on in the past. And it wouldn't be a Michael Panique talk if I didn't delve into a little bit of A Course in Miracles. I promise it's just going to be a small bit this time. So it came to me, as the, it's like, okay, what is the goal? What do I want to, if I'm looking at this as like, I want to embrace divine will, what is that? What does that look like? If I'm going to do that by letting go, then it has to be a conscious, an active, ongoing alignment of my human mind, of my small m mind with that divine mind, that Christ consciousness that is the truth of my existence. As I said, it's an ongoing process that I find to be rooted in, recognizing the limits of what I actually have control over, and then having that willingness to surrender everything else, which is historically where I start to run into problems. I have learned some things about myself that even through decades of spiritual work and awareness and conscious efforts have existed as a people pleaser of the highest degree up until an embarrassingly recent time, that time being sometime this morning, I don't know. Maybe yesterday if I'm lucky. But the truth that's been revealed to me is that exercise of trying to feel in control or feel safe by pleasing those around me is nothing more than a manipulation. And once I learn that, I know that I have to strive to eliminate that habitual behavior from my activities, unless I want to continue to end up in the same place of feeling hopeless, of feeling, because ultimately it's a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure, because you can't please all the people all the time. You can, however, make everybody mad at the same time. Seems to be a lot easier. There's a piece of scripture that comes up in the daily word, I think a couple of times a year. I think usually in July when we're talking about understanding, but it's from Proverbs, and it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not rely on your own understanding." My own understanding tells me that I need to feel comfortable to feel safe. My own understanding, my ego, tells me that the only way to do that is to make sure that everything out there looks the way that I need it to look. My own understanding tells me that because my brain is a really good puzzle solver, that if I can just turn this into a puzzle and then work at it long enough, then I can get all of the pieces to fit together, and then I feel good because I achieved something, and as a bonus, I feel safe. I feel in control. My Christ consciousness tells me that process is limiting myself to less than what I am here to be. My divine mind knows that who I am and what I'm here to do is invincible and is not reliant on whether you think it's the right thing or not. It doesn't depend on whether it feels safe, or it doesn't depend on if it is safe. It just is. So if my intention is to let go of that illusion of control of things that are outside of myself. If my embracing of divine will is dependent on that release, you know, what can I do to bring myself to that place where I'm ready to do that? And it starts with acceptance. And this is where I found a beautiful writing from Marcus Aurelius that talks about what they called the Latin is amor fati, which is a love of fate. The modern translation being, maybe in the words of Byron Katie, loving what is. And so this is a modern translation. I don't think he wrote these exact words because he didn't speak English, I don't think. He said, in everything that occurs, keep in mind those to whom similar events happened, how they were distressed, treated them as strange, and found fault. Where are they now? Nowhere. Why then do you choose to act likewise? Why not leave these agitations, foreign to nature, to those who cause and experience them? Focus on how to make the best use of what happens to you. By doing so, you will utilize them well, transforming them into material for growth. Attend to yourself and commit to being a good person in every action you take. And I think, to me, this part, you'll utilize them well, transforming them into material for growth. We create our reality by what we choose to think and feel and believe. And if I have that as a part of my consciousness and a part of my soul, then I get to decide, am I served by seeing what is happening in my life? What is happening to me or in me as an attack? Or can I see it as something that is put in my life, put in myself to bring me growth, to bring me to where I'm the most usefulness to serve that divine will? Or as Shakespeare said in Hamlet, there is nothing either good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. When I accept that everything that is for my own good, then I am in a place where I can start or rather stop trying to manage and manipulate things in order to feel safe, and let go of them, offer them up to the care of that loving spirit. Part of that process, I feel like, involves, kind of a clearing out of the old ideas, kind of cleaning up the wreckage, so to speak. It reminds me of a Buddhist parable that I think I shared one time before. Hopefully, it was long enough ago that you don't feel like, oh man, he's going to talk about this, but it talks about a traveler who's on a, he's walking the path, he's on a journey, and he comes to a river that's too wide to jump across, and it's too deep to swim across, but there is luckily some trees and some timber nearby, and so he gets to work and he builds a beautiful raft and a pole, and he uses it, and he is able to move himself across this river. And as he gets to the other side, he thinks, boy, this raft was really useful. What if I come across another river? I better take this thing with me. And so he fashions some straps, and he straps this thing to himself, and he starts dragging this raft along. And another traveler comes by and is like, well, what are you doing, man? You're not going to get there in time. It's like, well, I might need this. This raft has done me a lot of service. And the message obviously being that when we continue to carry those things which have served us beyond the time of their usefulness, we limit our progress. Tools are meant for their purpose, not for holding on to. And we talk about the power of elimination, the power of renunciation, and using that to discard those old thoughts, those old ideas, those old tools, once they get to the point where they start weighing us down instead of helping us along. So after I'm, get rid of the things that aren't working, I need something that is going to work to take that, to fill in. And, and this is where I find myself at risk, because my fearful mind was like, okay, now what? And if it doesn't show up soon enough, you better believe I'm going to go back to that well, even if it's dry. And so one thing I can do in the meantime is, use my tools, use my prayer and meditation to connect with, what am I inviting into that place? The manifestation of that divine will. The Stoics called it logos. And I have another passage here that I love, where he says, all things are interconnected and the bond is sacred. Hardly anything exists in isolation. Everything has been coordinated to form a single universe, a single order. There is one universe composed of all things, one God who permeates all, one substance, one law, one shared reason in all intelligent beings, and one truth. If there is indeed one perfection for all creatures of the same kind that participate in this shared reason, then all are connected. That there is nothing, that I am that divine spirit expressing through this vessel that identifies itself sometimes as Michael Panique. And that the connection of that essence, of that divinity, to that piece of you, to that piece of, the deer that's wandering into my yard eating the apples, that connects to somehow the person who pulled in front of me at the stoplight and then takes forever to get up to speed again when I'm trying to get to church on time. That not only are we of the same essence and here for the same reason, but that purpose and that reason is being served in that moment of me sitting there going, come on, can't we just go a little faster? And at Unity, we talk about the manifestation of our divine will happening when we choose to align our personal will, our personal self, with that Christ consciousness. And I was digging through the library downstairs, and I found a passage in this book by Eric Butterworth that we've had for a little while now, In the Flow of Life. I didn't look. Let me look right now. Let me see when... Yeah, so this was, the third printing happened in 1988. But the wisdom is still wise today. So he wrote, God is a circle that is centered in you. All the attributes of the infinite are in focus as you, flowing forth through you. You are in this flow. You are this flow at the point where you are. Thus, you are a child of the universe, a son of God. Meditate on this tremendous insight. It means that you are created in the image likeness of an infinite idea. You are the only begotten of God from the standpoint that no matter what other influences may have left their marks on you from the outside, there is that of you that is begotten only of God, which is forever the flowering of the divine flow from the inside. That we are the blooming manifestations of a divine spirit. I find that particularly useful when I'm in that place where I'm tempted to deny that still small voice that knows what the right thing to do is, that knows what is connected to my Christ consciousness. And the temptation is there to be like, well, yeah, I know that's the right thing to do, but if I do this thing, then I'm going to make somebody happy for a moment, for a minute. But is that what my Christ consciousness wants? Does it want momentary happiness, or does it want fulfillment? A Course in Miracles talks about the paradigm shift that occurs when we release that dependence on knowing that the outside world is okay with us, that knowing that, or feeling that we're in a safe place, that we're in a controlled position. And it directly addresses the illusion of that, the falsity of that, the lie that represents. So this is from the workbook. It's lesson 153 if you want to look it up later. It says, in my defenselessness, my safety lies. You who feel threatened by this changing world, its twists of fortune and its bitter jests, its brief relationships and all the gifts, in quotes, it merely lends to take away again. Attend this lesson well. The world provides no safety. It is rooted in attack, and all its gifts of seeming safety are illusory deceptions. It attacks and then attacks again. No peace of mind is possible where danger threatens thus. The world gives rise but to defensiveness, for threat brings anger, anger makes attack seem reasonable, honestly provoked, and righteous in the name of self-defense. Yet this defensiveness is a double threat, or yet is defensiveness a double threat, for it attests to weakness and sets up a system of defense that cannot work. Now are the weak still further undermined, for there is treachery without and still greater treachery within. The mind is now confused and knows not where to turn to find escape from its imaginings. Defenses are the costliest of all prices which the ego would exact. In them lies madness in a form so grim that hope of sanity seems to be but an idle dream beyond the possible. And then it offers the kind of the opposite or the alternative. Defenselessness is strength. It testifies to recognition of the Christ in you. Perhaps you'll recall the text maintains that choice is always made between Christ's strength and your own weakness, set apart. Defenselessness can never be attacked because it recognizes strength so great attack is folly, or a silly game a tired child might play when he becomes too sleepy to remember what he wants. Defensiveness is weakness. It proclaims you have denied the Christ and come to fear the Father's anger. What can save you now from your delusion of an angry God? And I'm not, it goes on. But that's the antidote for me. That's the thing that I learned that I wanted to come here to share with you this morning, is that all of my machinations, all of my chess playing to make my life into the thing that feels manageable that I talked about at the beginning of this talk, they are all in service of an ego that is doomed to fail. That my true strength, that my true ability to come to you authentically, to relate to you honestly, can only happen when I let down all of my guards, when I show up vulnerable and with all of my defenses discarded, realizing that that part of me that wants to connect to you, that part of me that wants to be in fellowship with all of the parts of you, is completely indestructible. That's the part that lives on when this body is no more. That's the part that existed long before I started this part of our experience. Well, it appears that we're going to get out of here a little bit early today. First, I'd like to invite you to join me in a little bit of meditation. So let's just let our bodies settle into a comfortable, relaxed posture. Let our hands be loose. If there's any tension, let it relax. Take a deep cleansing breath as we inhale that stillness. release the tension of our body. We let our awareness come into this moment completely. Recognize that right here in this moment, in this place, we have sanctuary. Inside ourself, we have a safe and quiet place. Now into this place, I want to bring that thing, that bone that your mind has been gnawing at, that puzzle, that worry, that rigid thought pattern that I've been holding on to for too long, that raft that I have not put down, that wall that feels too smooth and tall to climb on my own. Next, I want to stop and just acknowledge it without forming any judgment, while letting go of any existing judgments that I might have held, as I honestly say, is this something where the outcome is within my control? And now let's see ourselves releasing, letting it go, giving it over to those loving hands that have been supporting us all along. Or even just leaving it on the side of the path, trusting that it will be picked up by the right hands, the hands that need it. And in that empty space that it used to occupy, we invite that divine wisdom. We invite that sacred will that knows best, that is everything that is our best good. Now, see ourselves bounding forward in joy down the path. Into those arms of complete love. And as we sit there, we remind ourselves and remember that we may not always know the path, that we do not need to know the path forward, that when we align ourselves with our divine will, that we are aligning ourselves with our ultimate peace. Now just allow yourself to rest for a moment in this peace, in this loved place. Feeling the lightness and the freedom. Feeling that unchangeable feeling. Now, when you're ready, allow your attention to come back to this place, to this room. Hear the breathing and feel the energy of the souls that are with us, that are sharing this love with us. Thank you. I'd like to now invite you to join me with our prayer for protection. The words are on the wall behind me. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. And the presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. We are one. Okay. I'd like to invite you to join our circle of love, and we'll sing our peace song. So as we go forth, let us be aware of the divine part that is everyone we meet. Let us release our need to have everything appear as we need it to appear. Let us trust that everything that comes into our lives this week is there for the purpose